Good evening. My name is Alexander Zavala from Research Projects. This is the final task. So we have trying to do a critical opinion about my research, which one was difficult or the implementation of virtual education in primary school students at home. So for all survey improve. Uh, we have to see in the research that mostly of the families have to, by obligation or another circumstance, have to, like I say, buy a cell phone or a tablet for receive the class at home. This and the indicate that they have the need element necessary, but they must buy a cellular phone for the class. For the another aspect, that what is the most difficult thing in elementary school about virtuality absolutely was the attention by kids, and in in home the kids are free to do whatever, and they think they are in home but not at the class. For another question about the survey that made me uh, feel important, that the focus of the children, or what do the parents for that. And so the parents have to do with the children's all the time. If they don't have the attention to the class, and so this is for a really a problem. uh, the teacher was qualified is another point that made me feel interested about the research. And so the teacher qualified today, they receive too many um, class capacitation. They improve his learning about pedagogy and another stuff, and so they have the tools for confront and face that problem, like was the class in home. So there are so many strategies like video conference, uh, WhatsApp groups, and so too many strategies, but someone don't work, and so maybe, but the problem is what is the real strategy for the class. And so what have to do the parents to that problem. And so they have to do a guy acting like a parent, acting like a teaching. And so the kids maybe are not prepared for that, but they need to do what uh, they need to do so many strategies for the kids, and the parents have a little more difficult that kids. Uh, what the parents needs to home education, what the parents most need for complete that education home. And so there is too many results that make me feel that is important, like educational strategies, tolerance, and educational management. But no one thinks in the pedagogy. And that is the real problem. The parents are not prepared for pedagogy, and they show when a parents acting like a parents and acting like a teacher is something the kids doesn't know. And so that maybe was a problem too. And for the last question, this reminds this finally question. Sorry, what was the most difficult thing that the parents have to do with that. And so stay with the kid all time. Stay with the kid all time in the afternoon or in the morning. Maybe some parents uh, working as a homemaker, so they don't have the time, and that's also a real problem to do how to improve. Uh, the strategy in Colombia, the principal strategy, what the virtual class is that is not real platforms or a real structure for the class, and so that could be a problem. And in pandemic time, that was the real problem have to improve. And so, with all is research, the result through the entire analysis, we able to observe and I'm sorry, to be able to watch and see and feel that education is like a stock market, up, down. Sometimes good, sometimes it's not so good. In the zone, urban zone, is more easy to attend a class, a virtual class, but in the country, in rural areas, is not. The basic level in the consequent primary has showed that we are unexpert, that the behavior and the methodology are challenges for everyone. So virtual education in Colombia implies a deeper social, economic, political change, because this is a new knowledge. The pandemic faced with that in the country. We are schools by the normal way, but even so many schools that the two methodologies like virtual and face to face, and so this is an opportunity to improve the education in all results, like in all fields. Sorry. So the conclusions for this research: pandemic set an unimaginable, unimaginable scenario for anyone. And so in Colombia, education was not far to this phenomenon. Pandemic hit the education in Colombia, especially in primary education. I'm sorry. And this is the most difficult thing, because the children, we are not limiting for this activity. They have no frontiers for their behavior. So the children have to be playing every time, because children and children, and difficult have not let the parents and the teacher outside. This is a wake up. We have to do something and generate strategies for that. Just for that case, the UNAT University give us tools to us. We have no problems in a big scale for learning. Of course, I'm talking in the professional university studies, but if we put that platforms like UNAT University in elementary schools, maybe we have no so hard, no too many problems for that. And so the impact of difficult digital, I'm sorry, the impact of digital tools is uh, just cover on many departments. Just a few cities and so many secondary cities have to choose to confront that, but the mostly of the people in the country live in so many areas that even there is not internet in that places. And so we have to think in the education virtuality, uh, or maybe the network connection is the real problem to make a great or a big or a better education for children and for secondary and university. We have to think in the connection and virtuality and the mm, the things like a computer, just a thing like a computer, is difficult to think that everyone in Colombia has a computer. This is not like we see in so many places. Sorry. And so this is my video from Research Projects. Thank you very much for watching.